Good evening, this is Carol Hofstas, and I'm acting chairperson of the planning board meeting, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. And a roll call vote, please.
Andrew Shepherd, present. Pat Quantrick, present.
Les McNally, present.
Robert Terry, present.
Carol Hofstas, present. And are you present, Laurie? Maybe not. Okay. And if I could ask anyone to stand and say the pledge of allegiance.
Can you guys not hear me?
Oh, no, I
can now.
can.
Okay, can you see me?
We can.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in my car, so I'm gonna pledge with you.
Okay, thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to our service members and first responders. And this meeting is being recorded and uploaded to the Town of Townsend YouTube channel. Yeah. I don't have any additions or deletions.
Good. I'm actually on a meeting, so.
Okay.
Good. I'm fine. How are you?
Lori, you should mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, did everyone have a chance to look at the August 12th meeting minutes?
Yes.
Anybody have any discussions, questions?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of August 12th?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay.
I missed you guys.
Yeah, I guess do I just have everybody say aye because they're all here? Or
Yeah,
no?
you could just say aye, yeah.
Okay, everybody can say aye if they agree.
Aye.
Aye.
Do I get to vote today?
Oh, that's, no,
No?
no. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm just here to help.
But that's all right, next time.
Motion and second, please, I'm sorry.
Andrew and Robert.
Thank you.
And, okay, we're good with that. All right, I guess if you want to do your administrative report.
Voting up here, 27 Scales Lane, request for certificate of completion. These are the applications pending and expected. Request for certificate of completion is pending. The as-built plans should be submitted soon. 22 Main Street is ongoing. There, again, the board extended the special permit to October 7th. 108 Fishburne Road, the planning board decision to grant special permits and stormwater management permit was signed and the stormwater permit was issued. The special permits are in the appeal period. A new age-restricted development stormwater management permit application was received today for 1 Depot Road, and that application is under review for completeness by the staff. Site visits and compliance. I'm going to go right to 112 West Meadow Road. Just an update there. That's a recent stormwater management permit. We're still waiting for a finalized license to enter agreement on that project. With that, farm, the open space preservation development. Sorry. We did a site visit on Monday, the 12th, and at this time they're not eligible to apply for a certificate of completion of the stormwater management system due to one house is still under construction. 94 Fishburne Road, 3 Wheeler Road, 25 Harbor Trace, 66 Wheeler Road are all outstanding on monthly stormwater management construction reports. Miscellaneous, the new floodplain maps are available for the board, and the board will be working on new zoning bylaws. with the issuance of the 2025 FEMA maps for the National River Watershed, communities that wish to remain eligible for participation in the National Flood Insurance Program are required to also update and adopt their floodplain bylaws in accordance with a model floodplain bylaw that's been provided for housing by the DCR. Master plan is ongoing. The the hazard mitigation plan and MVP plan is ongoing. Again, the plan will need an update soon. MVP communities law zoning compliance. MRPC has submitted some deliverables or printed out on the table here. They're in your meeting packets. We expect Joe Boyle will be attending on at the next meeting on the 9th to talk more about the overlay district 3. Same stuff. Share copies right over and the.
So those floodplain updates, is that an update from the previous update? What, a couple of months ago, well, maybe it's 1 or 2 months, because I'm still working my out. When I did the new floodplain map,
Yeah.
is this an update to that?
This is actually the implementation of those. That was the precursor for the implementation of the 2025 maps, which will go into effect.
Okay, so they didn't do, so those maps that a few months back.
That was that's like the beginning of it, the introduction of it, and you at that point appealed if you didn't agree with the.
Yeah, I checked with Jesse. I was just making sure my house wasn't in place.
Yeah.
And I just saw that and I said, oh, should they put it back in the.
Yeah, it's implementation time, update and implement.
Okay, thank you.
I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Hey, Lori, can you mute yourself, you think? I'm just under text.
Okay. So 2.1 is the MBTA Communities Law Compliance Update, and that's the one from Mr. Boyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if, we can wait till he comes to discuss it, or is
Is he
it
coming?
next week? I mean, next meeting.
Yeah, we can look at his memo now.
Yeah, we could do that. Sure. We'd like to do that, look at this memo. We have it.
You have a copy of that?
No, I don't. I was going to access it via my computer and
Oh, okay.
I did read it.
You did?
Yeah.
I have it. Which,
Well, the first one. Oh, you read it?
The gist of it is the maximum, he wants to denote a maximum allowable developed for the site.
Well,
Yeah.
he's talking about District 3.
Correct.
Right.
But he's saying because he can't analyze it as well as he'd like.
yeah, that he can't because of the condition of
We
the
were talking
grades
about
and stuff.
splitting it, right?
But he said he can't analyze it to make it a smaller condensed lot for just those units. So he's proposing that we put a maximum
Maximum number of units.
180 units.
Yeah.
That can be built on that property. So, yeah, because he goes into how we can't really
Sure.
get it smaller, and I don't even know what the terrain looks like, but I'm taking his word that it's,
Sure.
that it's
But
not
he's
easily.
basically saying to have the whole 22.7 acres, the district.
Sure.
Yes. Yes, because he said he couldn't, he couldn't make it, because I think at the last meeting, he talked about re-looking at it and see if he could take that 22 acres and shrink it down to maybe 12 acres.
Sure.
That would be buildable for the 178
Mm.
units, and this memo says, basically, they looked at it and they just, it's almost impossible for them to come up with the acreage to minimize it down to a certain piece of the acreage. So he said to make it a maximum like 880 houses, so maybe on this part they could put
The density.
density over here and maybe less over here, or
Sure.
they may have to scatter.
I think it ultimately makes it less dense, which I know was a concern of yours, Robert.
And I thought that was, I mean, if you can't do it, 100, put a maximum on it, that was a good
My
alternative.
biggest thing is it's zone commercial now, and I don't want to really get much of that up.
Is it zone commercial?
I thought it was.
I didn't think it was.
I didn't think
Maybe it
so.
was.
There's always residential?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that section.
You want to go look? Because you might not be familiar with that.
which was distributed.
I'm not even familiar with all these.
Residential B2.
This was District 3 right around, I think that could be it, or it's this one. That small square is the water tower. It's right across from it.
Well, this is free.
Right, one of these.
Those two.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so,
good.
okay, good, all right.
The
So-
only thing about his memo that I thought was interesting was the bylaw that he proposed talking about that was enacted in 2008 that restricted, it had like a 4-year limit, like it's expired, but it said Townsend will not develop more than 28
Oh.
homes a year.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah, he did say about that. Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah.
So he'll be here at, the next meeting,
Mhm.
September 9th. So he'll go through this a lot more detail.
Sure.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do with the Townsend, the hazard mitigation plan and municipal vulnerability plan? I do have them. I did see, okay, on the hazard mitigation plan, I do see that there is some, did anybody have a chance to look at any of this stuff? I know I saw enforce regulations to monitor the effectiveness of private stormwater system detention on bioretention maintenance. And you have some, I guess, progress on some of these. Some of these have progress written in there. So are we acting on the ones that don't have any progress against them? So, you have the blue column.
Yeah, those are the things that I think we've been working, the board has undertaken, in
Oh.
various different projects that we've been doing.
So are we supposed to be looking at the ones that say planning board but don't have any,
You could, yeah, that's a good way to do it.
they don't have any comments?
So yeah, pick a few.
Okay. Okay, so how do you do this one? Because this one doesn't have anything against it. It says seek funding to create an ongoing collaboration to reduce burden on current translators. I don't even know why that's a planning board.
Translators?
Yes, I don't even know why this is a planning, I don't even know why this is, oh, here it is. I missed this one up above. Translate important documents in emergency communications into other languages. Why is that us?
Emergency documents?
Could that be like IT?
Translate important documents in emergency communications into other languages. And then the next one is seek funding to create an ongoing collaboration to reduce burden on current translators. Then the next one, this one's for emergency management, switches from planning to emergency management. Have translators ready to translate materials in a crisis and develop infographic signage.
Do you know what's going on with that, Andrew? Like, are there any?
In
emergency
terms,
management?
Billy Elliott is in charge of the emergency management department, so I don't specifically know what his level of awareness is of these items, or if he is working or not
Okay,
working.
okay, I guess maybe we need to find out how many people in Townsend don't speak English.
Yeah, we have that information.
Do we? So then I guess we need those who don't speak English, what language do they speak?
Yeah.
And then how do we get interpreters for those people that don't? Who's gonna, I'm on the finance committee, there's no money,
There's no,
there is no money.
I don't see
Well, a
why
lot of this
you
is
couldn't,
provided by the state.
Okay.
why couldn't we just hold the town and in the event of an emergency, if you're willing to step in as a translator for language Spanish or whatever language we need to cover.
Yeah,
Be
like my
surprised.
next door neighbors are Polish and they speak Polish.
I can speak very broken Polish.
oh,
It's
cool.
probably enough.
Well, then
to
you
speak
need,
it.
need my
There you go.
neighbors and they can help you with your Polish.
Would the board be interested in inviting, Deputy Izzy Elliott or to a meeting to talk about what's already going on, so you don't, if this is a planning board item.
I don't know, it says planning and
Yeah.
development, I don't know why it is, but
It had nothing to do with us. You can have selections on it.
I don't know, but that's,
So
I would-
maybe I could invite Mr. Deputy Elliott to a planning board meeting and talk about these items or something.
but that's, I like your idea though, of, you know, finding out what languages people speak, and then if somebody's in the community that, you know, speaks English in that language, to maybe like make
Yeah,
a
but
list
we-
or something.
Would we be doing anything in our bylaws with that? No,
No.
that I can
No.
see of, so.
So this is because we are the executors of this plan, is that
We
why?
have, tasks assigned to us.
Yeah, see how we would get, I kind
Yeah,
of pinned
sure,
out the things, so,
Responsible
like,
party.
on my
Is
other
this
hat,
part of the
I got a different hat, and I'm
No,
responsible
this
for a
is
bunch
the,
of
hazard
other stuff that I have no
mitigation
clue what
So
to do.
you're preparing,
So-
it's about being prepared for, natural disasters and fire and EMS and FEMA take care of other disasters like, you know, but natural disasters, you know, we all are involved in that planning. But this particular plan addresses things that we can do to be more prepared and protected against natural disasters. So I think it would be good, yeah,
Yeah,
to find out what's already done. Like,
yeah, what's already done and what you could do with maybe reaching out.
Yeah.
Finding out who doesn't speak English and how we can find people that we can maybe make some kind of list if people are willing to do that.
Mhm.
So like, remember, in an emergency, you could say, okay, this guy speaks whatever Spanish, and
Sure,
we
sure.
could call somebody as an interpreter.
Oh, yeah,
That
that'd
would
be
be
phenomenal
kinda-
to know
yeah.
who in town you could,
Yeah.
call for something like that.
Yeah, and it would just be like, you know, you wanna be like, you know, on-call firefighters.
Yeah,
When I
on-call
used-
language experts.
When I found out about on-call firefighters when I lived in Westford.
Hey guys, I'll just chime in on that one too. I mean, you see a lot more these days too of bigger meetings being signed too. So it's something potential for a town meeting or a bigger public forum type deal if someone does know American Sign Language to throw that into the mix potentially as well.
Yeah, good ideas.
So we'll talk to Erin Steffield, our grant administrator. She's been around the block a while, so I think she might potentially also have some grant ideas too. So obviously we can't sign a document, but you know, if we could translate a document or find some grant for some software or something that has that capability, at least for, you know, our comprehensive emergency management plans and some of these more comprehensive town documents to have more accessible for everybody, I think would be really great. So,
Thank you.
but I agree with Beth. I think maybe having some more collaboration, because you guys and the Emergency Management Association do seem to have the brunt of the work of this plan. Maybe having a meeting at some point to make sure the efforts, you know, are being consolidated and not overlapping would be pretty smart.
Do we have any shelters here in town?
They stand-up shelters like at Hawthorne Brook.
I'm sorry?
Like when there's like a cooling, like heat,
Oh, he
like
wait.
power outages and
Right.
people are worried about heat, they'll put like a heating shelter at Hawthorne Brook or Sometimes they'll do a cooling shelter.
Something like that.
They can do the meeting
It's usually
hall.
mostly Hawthorne Brook though, is the,
In my experience, it's always been at Hawthorne. I don't know, I'm sure there was a memo or a, standard operating procedure as to which locations have been vetted and
yeah,
which would make
got
most sense.
Do we even have an emergency management committee here?
Well, isn't that code red? What
I
is-
think that's the texting service for
What's that?
emergencies to the town residents,
Yeah, because I'll get like text sometimes from,
like road closure
or, yeah, like, your road's closed, or there's somebody's missing, or
Sure,
something,
sure.
or something, whatever. Or the
Sure.
heat index is going up, go seek shelter somewhere.
Sure. There is Townsend Emergency Management. I think the name's changed. I don't think it's called TEMA anymore, but Deputy Chief Billy Elliott is in charge of it presently. So whether we have them do a meeting or maybe the chair or vice chair has a meeting with them just to say, hey, where are you at? Just as a preparatory thing. Worth it.
So I guess a couple of these other ones is create an economic center to help make business plans. I'm not really sure what that means, but.
Like
That
a
seems like that would
Chamber of
require
Commerce kind of thing?
finance.
Laurie knows more about the Chamber of Commerce than I do, because I think, did Laurie kind of belong to Chamber of Commerce or some kind of business thing? So she would know more about that.
I think she said it's inactive now or something.
Yeah,
Well, not the chamber, the
but
Townsend Business.
the business associates in Townsend or something.
Chamber's active.
This might be for Andrew.
Oh, boy.
Create an agricultural advisory committee and develop programs and incentives for local farms.
Wow.
Oh,
I know there's been meetings recently with the now state rep about like an agricultural commission of some sort or group. I don't think it's a formal commission of
Oh,
the town, but
oh. Well,
I
maybe
know
you
my
could,
sister's been going.
maybe you could send a few words to Beth on that,
Okay,
and she could put it right there in the box.
okay.
And that would give us,
Yeah,
we
some
could,
points.
some points,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I know Margaret has been organizing some meetings around agriculture in town.
So if you think of just
Yeah,
doesn't have to
okay.
be a lot. Just,
Yeah, I'll find something and I can send you a link, Beth, or something.
It's like, just like to show a little bit of progress.
I'm doing it.
Whatever it is. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's all, because I know Lori knows more about the business side than I do. Why are you doing that? She's got stuff there. Hey, I don't know if we've done this or not. Beth, study options for regulations, waivers, zoning, low impact development, transfer of development rights to protect aquifers and incorporate other climate resilient measures. We're kind of doing that as a review in the bylaws. About the aquifers, protecting the aquifers.
I'm just trying to find it. Which picture?
7-10.
Which documentary reading?
Oh, this is the, it's table 7-1 out of the master plan, priority hazard mitigation and climate adaptation actions.
Table 71, right?
So, yes, 7-1.
Yeah, it's supposed to be table 7-1, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, mine says 7-1.
Mine says 71.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a feeling. Okay, so I'm not doing. I'm just trying to get my open space plan through. Okay. So, Barbara, how do you elevate a building? Only because one of them here says, assess options for encouraging properties inside the floodplain to elevate buildings and critical components. Require resilient design specifications as a part of the flood district permitting process for major redevelopment and new development.
Those are floodplain standards by the federal government,
Okay.
which they relate to flood insurance.
Oh, so that's all part of this flood
Right,
bylaws that we're gonna be looking at?
right.
Okay, all right, so, because we got pages of floodplain bylaws here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's pretty good on the hazard claim. Everybody's happy with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Till the next time. Like I said, Laurie knows a lot about the business side that I don't really know. And this one is, I'm not even sure what this one is. What is this one? It says focus series. Is that even on the agenda? And they printed out yellow. I didn't highlight them for any reason.
Yeah, they were highlighted because those are the items that the board is involved in. And this is focus collaborating entity on, so.
Oh, okay.
You can
Okay,
do-
and which document are you looking at?
you can do
Oh,
a few
we
of
just switched over to this, whatever
The
this one's
master plan.
called.
them. Yeah, but the master plan.
Okay,
Is it the MVP action table? I think that's what it is.
No,
In the,
yeah, that might be the,
That is it.
is that the MVP action table? This one here with all the yellow?
That's the master plan implementation table, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, we already doing that. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I can screen share.
So it's a. Oh, so who? Wait, I'm not really sure how to do this. Okay, so just say this one, the town should pursue grants to install electric charging stations. So who would,
That would be great.
that would be the grant, but
Yeah.
who
and you can
would
make-
like, how do you, I guess I'm not really clear on how you would go about pursuing the grant. And does somebody from the planning board have to tell somebody to go pursue this grant? I'm not really sure how this works.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a formal request for, you know,
And who pays for the electricity? How does that, I don't even know how that
I
works.
don't either. And then, how many electric vehicles are there in the town? at the end?
I don't know, but, okay, does
So is
anybody?
this for public charging stations?
Well, yeah, I guess. So, I mean, I've never used one. Do you put a credit card in it, or does somebody pay for it?
I've never used one. The only thing that I have heard that, you know, if you're planning on taking a large trip or long trip, and you stop by one of these charging stations, it can take like 6 hours to
Oh,
charge your car.
I got you.
Terrible
I got
stories.
you better than that. My brother's friend has a Tesla. He gets free electric as long as he uses the Tesla charging station. My brother lives up in Maine. He drove up to Maine, and my brother's house basically was on zero power with his Tesla car. My brother's sad because he only has a regular plug, wall plug,
like days.
2.5 days to charge the car so he could go home.
I think we leave that to the private sector.
So, but
Can we instead encourage a business to put the put up a electric vehicle charging station.
Townsend Ford just did
Well,
actually.
not only
like
that, but they're,
But do you put
Better
a
opportunity
credit
for the
card in, or
town.
does Townsend Ford pay for the electricity? I don't know how
I
that
think it
works.
depends on the type of charger, or the type of vehicle.
'Cause
There are like national standards on charging and
Not yet.
plugs.
Yeah,
No,
because,
there's
well, everybody's,
there's not a federal standard, but there is like a certain standard that's out there.
well, what I understand is they're having trouble standardizing it because different automakers have used different
Yeah.
charging systems. The other thing that I'm hearing is that these are targets for vandals. You put them in and they break them to steal all the copper.
well, I don't wanna put a charging station in if the town is on the hook for paying for the electricity.
Right.
So,
Unless we have a fleet of electric vehicles in town, I don't see the reason.
Oh,
Well, I don't
yeah,
know, maybe
yeah.
they're suggesting that
but
that we
anyway,
have one for town vehicles, maybe?
no, it doesn't really specify, but the other one is encourage both solar and wind power in town. But we're already doing that with the police station, aren't we, putting the solar panels? Aren't we doing something with solar on the police station?
That hasn't moved forward to my knowledge, but, there is, bylaws that are in place are very good for both solar and for wind.
So maybe we could put that in there for a status update for the wind and power.
Sure.
That we have the bylaws.
Yeah, we have pretty current.
That we have current, yeah, because we just did the solar one, that just updated those, so why don't we put that as a status update?
What, do we have it in our bylaws?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just did it not too long ago.
Yeah, I
the
know,
solar.
and it's all archaic already.
Yeah, well, that's okay, but we just did it recently, so we're gonna take credit for it.
Yeah.
And to the vehicle one, I think to Patrick's good point, we could write, Townsend Ford has installed, not like we've done anything, but they've chosen to
Oh,
install.
Yeah, we could do
Do
that,
they have a charging station?
Yep, yep,
so we could,
yeah. I think they were forced to by Ford due to sales.
But, I don't know if it's available to the public, if you know what I
Sure.
mean. I'm sure it isn't.
Sure.
I cannot, with the price of electricity,
it's so what we take
And-
credit for it.
Townsend.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone
I don't think it's worth it.
Nothing-
putting in free charging,
No.
Yeah, definitely not.
No. As far as the town paying for anybody's charging, we can't afford it.
Yeah.
So we can't do that. This is the one I hate with a passion because it takes us some respite. But everybody else likes it, so that's okay. The town should consider passing the Community Preservation Act. And I know that's Veronica's passion is to put that on one of the town warrants someday, so.
And just what is that?
It's a tax on your property tax.
It's a property tax?
It's a tax on your property. And they say that it does great things because it goes from, 1% to 3% or a 0.5%.
but it's sort of where the state provides funding, providing that the residents contribute, a percent of
Right.
property taxes to
Right.
it. So overall, you're getting a subsidy from the state.
Yeah, just like the state promised to pay for our church schools,
Right.
and our schools are costing us a fortune because the
Is this
state
at,
remakes on
oh, no kidding.
what they promised to
Fair
pay
enough.
for the schools.
It's 16.
So anything the state says they're gonna pay for,
I pay
I don't
40 at my
believe
house,
them,
it's
and I'm
45
pissed
cents on
because
average.
we wouldn't be in such
So you're paying
financial
for the
shape
fast
if the
start.
state
Yeah, yeah.
gave
And
us the
orange
money.
is what they're supposed to.
Gave us the money for the Best Buy speech, so, but anyways. There is some benefit if you believe the state will come through, but since they've never come through for our schools, whatever. Encourage balanced land use consistent with New England character through zoning and development review that is sensitive to wildlife corridors, cyclical review of zoning districts to ensure land use suitability and preservation of agricultural resources. Don't we already do that?
No.
We do that? Not really? Don't we have all those wildlife designated corridors and,
Every time we take on another campaign or whatever purpose it is. It delays all the regulatory process and adds more cost to everything.
We do something, I don't know, when we encourage balanced use, balanced land use consistent with mainland character through zoning and development beds. Because I know like the wildlife people, they put signs everywhere, like this is a wildlife whatever.
Mm.
And don't we have designated wildlife corridors already?
I think if the town is 50% open space, so and that's by the state conserving 50% of the town. So I'd say I
We
don't
can
know.
check the box.
I don't know if that's balanced, but
I don't know if it's.
the rest of
You know, some of this
it's
stuff,
probably excessive in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, these are all great concepts and stuff, but they also end up with conflicting situations, okay? So, I'm on the Parks and Cemetery Board here,
Yeah.
so we take care of the parks in town.
Zoning and development, I mean, we do have
And then
zoning with the
The
Scenic
conversation
Roads Act,
comes up,
and we do
there's
have.
no public swimming areas available in town.
And
all
we know
our
I see
natural
signs everywhere,
swimming
like
areas
wildlife management
Are,
stuff.
you can't swim in them because of the contamination.
Yeah.
And we find out the contamination is from
So we could write.
poor water flow.
Right.
And the water flow is related to beavers
Yeah,
damming up
yeah,
the water.
yeah, because
So-
because my plan's gonna be. it's
There
brand
was a
new.
real concern to try
I
to
mean, it's.
resurrect some of these natural swimming holes that we have, but then we're in conflict with conservation and everybody else.
And
So,
recreation plan.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
you know, there's no perfect anything. And,
I mean, I'm all about conservation, but excessive conservation can be bad for the town too.
right, so when you got people that won't make a concession anywhere or look at it in a realistic terms, there's no progress.
Yeah.
So, you know, not that these things aren't good concepts, but they gotta be done with some kind of realistic
Yeah.
solution, you know, not just an emphatic program.
Beth, I just sent you the emails about the agricultural commission.
Okay, and she's just gonna use, for this one about protecting, we just discussed, my open space and recreation plan is brand spanking new and has a lot of that stuff in it, so we can just do that and then we got a conditional approval by the state, so it has to be tweaked, but we do have conditional approval. Okay, the next one is promote business development in a manner consistent with protecting water supplies and preserving the town's character. I'm not really sure what that means. I mean, we're not gonna build in a water, whatever protected area.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure what that means.
Is that talking about like taking something out of a designated area that can't be built on because it's conserved? Like something on the harbor pond or something like that?
It just says protect water supply and infrastructure.
You can build near water safely if you do right.
Careful and comprehensive land use planning by strengthening protection for wellheads. A lot of places here have private wells, a lot of housing.
Yeah.
Is on private wells. So we just have stuff, zoning things about building there.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, like the setbacks from other property lines, you know, create a buffer, a natural buffer around wherever you place your wellhead if you're not on town water.
Well, that's pretty well regulated by the
Yeah.
health department anyway.
Anyways, yeah, because because I always had a well when I lived in Westwood, I was always on well water, until I came here and then had to stop using water bill. But, yeah, we were always protected, our wells were always, and my daughter actually has a well on the other side of town, they're all on wells
Mhm.
over.
West End.
Well, you're updating this real time, Beth.
by- What's his face, she lives right, you know, Kevin Smith,
Oh, North End Road.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she was there. Don't we already have this, develop a map of recreational areas and natural resources and state-supported improvements to the trail system with linkages? I think that's on the website.
Is that in the open space plan?
Oh, it's on the town website, I thought. I pulled one off of there that shows all the trails in town. On the,
State-supported improvements to the trail system.
develop a map of recreational areas and natural resources and state-supported improvements to the trail system with linkages.
That's a really strange way to word it, isn't it?
I know, I know on the town, because I pulled it off the town website, there is a map of all those trails that I've
And
never
there
been
used to
able
be
to
something
find.
right outside the town clerk's office with that as well.
Yeah, the MRPC has a regional trail map and points of interest, so we do have that.
And don't we have to do that? So when we just stick that in there,
Yeah.
that we already have that.
Oh, yeah.
That could be, yeah.
And,
So,
and I'm assuming there are maps in the open space and recreation plan too, right?
yeah.
I would assume.
They would be downstairs.
Yeah.
There's that.
check it
Yeah, there's maps.
Like how many times do I look at that plan and I can't even remember? Okay. I think we're doing,
I'd
oh,
say we've done a good page of
Okay.
updates.
all right, we've done good tonight. So, okay, what's next?
I just have one. So at one time, is there a economic development group or committee?
Oh, group or committee, not
There
the,
used to be there was a while ago.
is that the capital planning committee?
No. It was just basically, a small group sort of focused on economic development.
So there is a group at the planning commission level, but I'm not familiar with any at the local level. The town,
Okay.
like a Townsend Economic Development.
I just know that the person that lived at 7 Worcester, I think, or right there, used to be a chairman of it or something way back when.
Ah, yeah.
But, I always see that, when I was looking at all these action items in terms of economic development, it really needs some focus. You need to have a small group that's basically, first of all, has the expertise and is sort of focused on it. Because one of the things that the master plan, and, I know that it's not practical now, they basically said, we need to have a person hired responsible for economic development in Townsend. But, I think a separate group that's just focused on that pulls from all of the various other groups as needed to make things happen.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, I would take that as a recommendation that the selectmen should sort of appoint, or create a committee to be looking at economic development, because there's a lot we could do in Townsend, but it's a lot of work
Yeah.
and needs a lot, needs expertise.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Pick a small project and get people to work on that one small project.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
yeah.
Because, one of the things that Townsend is one of the really, what do I want to say? One of the attributes of Townsend that is so great is the amount of recreational area, parks and open space, and, being able to draw people in from other communities to enjoy that. And then that brings business into Townsend.
Yeah.
People having lunch, people going to the hardware store or
Yeah.
whatever.
If
Oh,
we could
the
bring in
antique
more.
shops are a big attraction here.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know how well they're marketed, if you know what I mean.
No, they're not.
We have
Yeah, I
two
mean,
big
the
state
Cooper-
parks, the 3,000
Yeah.
acres of state forest,
Yeah.
and tons
Yeah,
of
I
trails.
don't-
And
yeah,
you got
I don't think
Townsend
they're marketed.
Forest there too,
You got the
that
rail
nobody
trail.
even knows exists.
well,
Exactly.
I didn't
A lot of
even,
opportunity that's untapped. I agree.
didn't know all the
Yeah.
trails. I still don't know. all
But
the
I
trails.
would just recommend that you sort of need a small group focused on that. If you want to, if you really want to make progress on it.
Sure.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, that's,
Maybe
that
a
makes
greater emphasis on the recreation stuff, right? Do better with marketing the trails and where they are, what you can do, and
if you could do that, and you brought more people into town, which then would if more people come to town, then it would make it more attractive for, say,
For business.
for a business to locate like a coffee shop or a whatever restaurant or a whatever.
And, you know,
Or a
like-
bike shop within 30 miles of this place.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Maybe a
sell
national-
hiking equipment or whatever it is, something.
I mean, even, you know, a list of the local restaurants where you can, you know,
Like,
get
we
something-
don't need a list, it's like two.
The rail trail has a really nice map that is all color coded and shows you restaurants and activities and paths and stuff. Right.
The restaurant is on the rail trail.
Not on the rail trail, but the map, they have like welcome to Townsend map. And
Okay,
it says, oh, if you go over here, you can see
Wow.
this, and over here, you see that.
well, you see Bailey's from the rail trail.
Hey. Walk right out.
I've been living in
Oh,
Communities,
Townsend House at the other end, I guess.
where tourist areas. I'm not sure we want to attract a lot of people to town.
Well, whatever. But
Find the right
those are good ideas. Did everybody have a chance to look at the new stormwater management application changes? Or are we gonna table that till next
I
meeting?
didn't look at it.
I did not,
I looked at some, but I didn't look at every document.
Okay,
And I
so,
wasn't clear on which the changes, there was some yellow highlights. I didn't know,
yeah, those are.
I only saw
the-
that on the diagram though. I didn't see that on some of the other ones.
I figured that those are the changes.
That diagram.
Okay,
Yeah, so there are probably like 10 of them in your packets, all different sections of the application, like Form SF10, things like that. That different edits were made to, so they're mostly clerical. Some of them just clarify and point back to regulations and things. So it's just more helpful for staff to
Sure,
monitor
sure.
that by law. Mostly, yeah, I can go through them and pull them up, or you can, again, look them over, and if you have any,
No, Robert and Lance haven't had a chance to look at it.
No.
yeah, so they've been in your folder for a few meetings now, so.
so can you look at them for the next meeting? Maybe
Yes.
we could approve them?
yes,
To get them approved? Okay,
Yes.
Great, so we'll do that next time.
September 9th.
Okay.
Can I just interrupt one moment?
Yeah.
For the last discussion, master plan, would you like to take any action on the idea of recommending to the select board, that you're creating an economic development committee or something like that? I can
Sure.
draft a letter and you can look it over.
Yeah, that would be fine, sure, we could do that. See if that's something we can do. We could show progress on our thing here.
Is the Parks and Recreation Committee the one responsible for the trail map and all that stuff, or is there another?
No, I
No,
mean,
that's
our
me.
role,
That's my other hat.
we take care of the parks and the cemetery and, so right now we're getting new playground equipment and we got a grant for that. And we were, what's the name of that? Adams Rock, do you know what that is?
Black Rock?
I know where Black Rock is. just
No.
Right up over here.
No, behind, the shoe place here.
Evans?
Huh?
Behind Evans?
Yeah,
There's a
behind
trail.
Evans. Okay, the river goes through there and it's the one place in town that nobody knows about, but we can go swimming.
Really?
Yeah, and so
I think
we're
it might be
trying
Black.
to reclaim that area and make it a legitimate park now, so.
Because you can, that's Howard Park, behind Evans.
No, it's Adams Rock or something.
It's Black Rock, I'm pretty sure that, because the Squanicook River takes a hard right,
Right,
and right there's a big black rock.
right.
And it looks
Black
like it's a swimming,
It is a swimming area.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the only one in town.
Really? Because
And then there was another area,
there used to be a time.
you know where Meeting House Road is and the bridges out there? That used to be called Baptise, and they used to swim down there in the river. So parks and cemetery right now, we're trying to get some signage and clean up the pathway down to Black Rock, and
Used to be a workout trail.
it is, and so there's a big, so we're putting some signage in there, trying to clean it up because there's a lot of poison ivy and stuff like that down there. And
That's not part of Howard Park then. That's behind Evans.
it's behind Evans.
I always
Behind,
thought that was
the school too, awesome. Like there's some trails back there.
there, yeah.
Through
That's
town.
right.
Sorry, I didn't want to derail the conversation. We can,
Because somebody told me, well, one of my friends has lived here for years, not me, but one of my friends, and she had mentioned there used to be a town beach in the town park or something.
No, where the VFW is. All that marshland you see now was a public swimming pool.
No, because I can remember when my granddaughter was little, and I was still living in Westford, and my girlfriend said, oh, you need to go to the town beach. And I took my daughter and the toddler, and we went down 119, I guess towards West Townsend.
It's
somewhere.
West Townsend, right?
And then it was like, we walked into the woods, and it was like a beach, but it was kind of nasty. It was like overgrown with weeds and stuff, and I was like, was this the town beach you was talking
Oh,
about?
it's just Pearl Hill down there.
Is that,
I think they have a little beach and a pond to swim in.
What, Pearl Hill?
Yeah.
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 And then was
I don't know if
Vinton,
that's what you were.
Vinton-
There's Vinton Pond. Yeah.
Vinton Park.
because
I don't know if that's a public beach though.
No, Pearl Hill
It's a state park.
is a state park. Vinton Pond used to be owned by the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
And so there's private homes there now.
okay, so I didn't know if there was like a town beach that could be like renovated or cleaned up or.
I'm not familiar.
Forge Pond charges for non-residents, I think it's like 20 or
Really?
$40 or something.
Forge, oh, we're Westford?
Mhm.
Well, they have two beaches in Westford. Edwards is better than Forge
The one
Pond.
next to the railroad track.
Right.
Yeah, but that's Forge Pond by the railroad tracks. But then the
Personally, I
other
think
one-
we need one.
But the other one down, Edwards Beach down by, down Nassau, because I lived in Westford for like 20 years. That one is a much better beach.
It's a source of revenue for the
It
recreation.
used to be $5 for non-residents.
Mhm.
That's what they used to
I
charge.
think it's like $20 now. It's more than $5. My wife told me she was not.
Well, there was no real town beach in Townsend ever.
Well, she told me she took her son here, like she's lived here for, I don't know how many years.
I knew every
What do we have
place to
next
swim when I grew up.
Okay, so next on the list is,
Correspondence.
I guess it's correspondence we have
All right.
received from towns and abutting towns.
We have a lot of correspondence to share. One is from the Office of the Attorney General, where they share that Articles 13, 14, 17, and 19 were approved from the May 7th annual town meeting. And Article 18, sounds like they extended their own deadline. So I don't know if you guys want more. I can go into the amendments.
No, no.
Okay, good. Town of Groton, the Groton Planning Board, it is a public hearing notice, definitive subdivision plan and special permit for 63 Gratuity Road. It is Thursday, September 12th at 7 PM to consider an application submitted by Ruthier and Roper Gratuity Road LLC for approval of a definitive subdivision plan and special permit. The proposed project will create a 28-unit major residential development for people 55 years of age and older, as shown on the definitive plan entitled Gratuity Brook Farm Estates, definitive subdivision, 63 Gratuity Road, Groton, Mass.
Where is that?
Gratuity Road? I'm not sure. Off the top of my
Okay.
head.
I'm not sure where that is. Okay.
More information available at Town Hall. All right, another one. Public hearing notice from the Town of Groton. Proposed zoning bylaw amendment for accessory dwelling units. Public hearing September 12th, 2024, 7:30 PM to consider proposed amendments to the Groton zoning bylaw, chapter 218. The proposed zoning amendments will update the provisions for accessory dwelling units to conform with newly adopted changes to the Massachusetts Zoning Act. More information at Town Hall.
That one might be interesting to us if, yeah,
That's exactly what Townsend has to do.
And that's what we're doing
We have to,
with MRPC.
Yes, as town council said at the last meeting, February 2025 is when the new state law takes effect. So I would say sooner rather than later, because that's going to come up quickly.
Sure,
That also would mean, I assume, fall town meeting, so I think maybe the board needs to start, putting that into play. I
So
know we
now-
talked about it, but
That's correct?
That's Groton.
having that.
So, I mean, I know way back when I was, the chair here, I had like relationship with Groton and with Lunenburg. If we could sometimes it's good to like, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, contact the Groton Planning Board Chair or what have you.
Yeah.
Or if you could contact the office and say that we'd be interested in the output from that.
Also,
Yeah.
hold that
I'll
on.
get a copy of what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
Sure. And then we can check with Joseph on his update for what
Yeah.
I thought he talked about his timeline, and I can't remember if it would be ready for fall town meeting or not in
Well, the
regards to the
ADU.
ADU.
Because what happens is the state will supersede. what we
Sure.
have.
Sure.
So it would be confusing, as you
Yeah.
said, to leave our bylaw.
I just can't remember what his timeline that he talked with us about for when he'd have it ready.
Yeah,
You know what I
no, he
mean?
did.
Yeah.
I think he did say.
He may not have.
Because you're saying the state's coming out in February,
February of 2025.
and that's gonna supersede anything that we have, so we
Right.
need to get our
Correct.
bylaw.
Yeah,
But we have MRPC working on that.
No, but
right.
there's a couple of things there. One, it's by right now, okay, which is the state mandate, which is fine. But there's still the local jurisdiction on the size of the unit.
Yeah.
So currently, several towns have based this on a percentage of the main structure,
Correct.
which I say no more than 50 is what's been the common.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are using 900 square foot max. So that introduces another thought that I have that I wanted to discuss with this board. And it concerns a general bylaw about multifamily housing. And specifically now with this MBTA district. And historically here, being on this board for about 2 years, we see a lot of special exemptions in our zoning for aging in place housing and there are other ones too, elderly housing and senior housing and low income housing. So there are a lot of state sponsored things that impact our town. And one of the things that we worked on last fall was the term I presented, which was called wellness.
Oh, yeah, we did do.
So we have
Didn't we-
scenic roads.
Didn't we put that into the bylaw, the wellness?
Yes, but it wasn't, we need to define that, okay?
Okay, well,
So wellness takes into account, so for example, the last applicant that was here last week that we approved, it is supposed to be for older people.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with the dumpster.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep, I read that in the minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the problem here is we see what the developers want, but the developers aren't putting themselves in the occupant's
Correct.
right.
mindset. And I was really upset about that because if this was your parents living there and they were on a wheelchair, on a walker, walking to that dumpster was not anything that would help them, okay? So I'm talking about wellness, not just in terms of site plan review, but in terms of a bylaw. So one of the things that's awful about high density housing is everybody gets put in the same box over and over, okay? So a couple of things happen when that happens. One, that if there's a big enough development of it, it becomes a labeled community. In other words, oh, that's low income over there, or that's all retirement there. That's taking people and sort of labeling them in a type of ghetto. You know what I mean? It's all the same type. And I don't mean ghetto in a negative way in terms of bad people. I mean it in terms of everybody's collected there. So there's only social interaction that happens there is with themselves. So imagine now, I live in one of these neighborhoods, and I'm 76 years old, and everything around me is the same as me. And
You look good for 76, by the way.
well,
I wouldn't have guessed
but
that.
how upset would you be if there's an ambulance coming through your neighborhood every other day, or a funeral parlor? Do you know what I mean?
Now,
So-
Robert, I wonder, should I finish reading
Yeah,
the clerk?
Yes.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
we can go
Oh,
on
I'm sorry.
at length or
Yeah.
later about
But-
your feelings. So this is from Pepperell, Massachusetts. Notice of decision. It is to Maple Leaf Village LLC. Zoning Board of Appeals special permit. Expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use at the subject site. The project proposes construction of 27 mobile home dwelling units on the subject's lot and expand upon the village's existing infrastructure. One of the 27 proposed dwelling units was previously permitted as part of a special permit granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals on July 1st, 1980, allowing up to 84 total mobile dwelling units on the subject site. The remaining 26 proposed units would be considered as new units as the expansion of the existing non-conforming use of the mobile home parks brings the total number of units to 110. The decision. Is that the decision? I guess that's that.
I think that was the decision
Fair enough. All right.
when I read it.
Town of Shirley, Zoning Board of Appeals, legal advertisement, public hearing Monday, September 9th, 2024 at the Town Hall for an application submitted by Vishnu Golakota, 10 Valley View Way, Shirley, Massachusetts, for a public hearing for a variance related to a minimum side yard setback of 17 feet. Parcel is located at 10 Valley View Way in Shirley. This is Town of Townsend Conservation Commission. This is for a public hearing on Wednesday, August 28th, regarding a notice of intent filed with the Conservation Commission by a Grace Meja. The property is located at 12 Canal Street. The proposed project is for a residential septic replacement within the riverfront area. This is also from the Townsend Conservation Commission. Legal notice for a public hearing on August 28th, 2024. Regarding a notice of intent filed with the Concom by Rob Becker. The property is located at 50 Sauna Road. Proposed project is the installation of a seasonal dock in Vinton Pond. Resource areas impacted by the seasonal dock are bank and land underwater. And the last one is from the Townsend Conservation Commission. Another notice for a public hearing on August 28th. A notice of intent filed by the Townsend Highway Department for the property located at 94 Fitchburg Road. The proposed project is for the extension of a public storm drain pipe to outfall into the 100-foot bordering vegetated wetland buffer. That concludes the notices.
Okay, and I just wanted, the next one was the new floodplain map in the national watershed, so if everyone can just look at that. And then the last section talks about education and training. There's a conflict of interest law on Thursday, September 26th. And the Citizens Planner Training Collaborative is the online thing for signing up for training. And, the resource library, I guess it's a new planning board. Where is that library located at? The resource?
It's always in folders.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I move it from week to week.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't think I did.
Is there with the folder? I feel like I can only ever click into your email to see the week's folder. Like I can't, if I want to find a different week or go back, I have to
Okay.
find the old email
Yeah.
and go in.
Yes,
There's not a way, like I feel like normally I would be able to like click back.
yes, but you can't, right?
Right,
I wonder if
yeah.
there's a way to, you
Yeah,
know,
I have that same problem. It's just like, get that folder, so.
okay.
Because I don't feel like I feel like there
Carry things forward. you know,
could be
but-
things that are like a general folder,
Yeah.
you know, like either all or just, you know, every, I don't know, regular updates of the CPC or,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like it could fit in like a generalized.
Okay, I'll try to make a more general folder and pull that forward. That's kind of what I've done with the training folder.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
I'll
end up
just keep
keeping
filling it.
all the emails.
Yeah, well, I guess sometimes, each week I may re-click through things that I've already looked at that may be pulled forward.
And they're
And then I
gone,
have to double check if I've already looked at them or not.
Right.
and then gone.
Could be. I
But
guess.
if you would structure it and just like maybe have a link that's called planning board, and then underneath planning board, like maybe meeting minutes, and then or meetings, and then the dates of all the meetings where you have that stuff.
Yeah.
So in
I
other
have that.
words-
It doesn't show up in yours, so,
No.
yes. Yeah, so you can't,
So if I click back,
maybe I can try sharing, the main.
Share it up higher, at a higher level directory.
Okay, yeah,
That should do it.
yeah.
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
That's a really good idea.
yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
so would we like to adjourn?
I'm just gonna follow up on that last topic. I'm gonna type up something
Okay.
and have it for the board to look at.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Sounds
you
good.
know what you're talking, right?
Fair enough.
Thank you, Robert.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All say aye, all those in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. Great, thank you.